Okay, everybody quiet on the set. Hi, it's the Recruiting Animal. This is the Recruiting Animal show on October 6th. I can never remember the date anymore. 2021, I know the year. Michael G. Cox, it's like he never talked to me before this year. He says, how's the year treating you? It's October, okay? How's the year treating me? Anyway, our guest, I don't know, he's buried. He came last. He's buried in the corner down there. So I'm going to be talking to the corner, but trust me, when this is published, he'll be over there. So I'll be talking down here, and you're going to say, what's that stupid animal doing? It's not my fault. Okay. Welcome, AJ.
Thank you.
How do you say your last name?
It took me like 4th grade to learn it. Vollmoeller.
Vollmoeller. Oh, spell it.
V-O.
It's on the screen, man.
Yeah.
It's tiny. Okay. Spell it, please.
V-O-L-L-M-O-E-L-L-E-R.
Okay. And you call yourself AJ, which is
do.
a Hindu name. Okay. Mario the Recruiter.
No. AJ is not a Hindu name. Ajay is a Hindu name.
A-J-A-Y.
Yeah. AJ is a cool name. It's an awesome
Thank
name.
you.
I should name my son AJ.
Okay. Now, the thing is, AJ, I can barely hear you. Can everybody else hear him nice and clearly? It seems like he's a mile away from his mic. Am I right or wrong about that?
Can you guys hear me?
Struggling a little bit.
Now you're good.
No. If
Animals
Michael
got
G.
hearing
Cox
problems.
doesn't contradict me, you know I'm right, okay?
If there's problems, I'll put my headset on.
Okay, good. You moved your head closer. Yeah. You know what, AJ? Smile a little so I can use that as a thumbnail. Yeah, good. I like to pretend that everybody's happy when they're here. Okay, AJ, let's get right to it. I've got lots of questions for you, and I like your LinkedIn description of your company, and I've got some questions to ask you about it. I'll introduce everybody else after. Don't worry, guys. Okay. You know what? We're underrepresented with women. It's not my fault. They're all invited, and when they're here, they have a good time. We had a guest who was a woman last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's how AJ describes his company.
Great smile.
Future Force Staffing is a poaching, headhunting agency. Wow. I've never seen anybody say anything like that. Here's the rest. It focuses on hard to fill, niche skill set, and urgent backfill positions for small and medium businesses that require their candidates to be a great cultural fit as well. We don't find the available talent. We find the best talent and live by the motto quality over quantity. Does everybody else, anybody else impressed by that as much as I am? We're a poaching company. Have you ever seen anybody say
I don't think anybody else is as impressed as you are at this point.
I wish I came up with that.
I told you, nothing I say is, pardon me, Mario?
I wish I came up with that. AJ, kudos. Seriously.
Thank you.
You can copy and paste it.
Yeah, it's not copyrighted.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Thank you.
AJ, let me ask you something about that. Doesn't that scare people when they see poaching? What does that mean? They don't even know what it means. It's scary. It's illegal. What does it mean?
I thought it would initially, but
well, it's not illegal. But if you're poaching, is usually hunting. If you're a poacher, you're hunting.
We are poachers, animal. We are nothing more than poachers.
Yes, you're right. Okay, but I mean hunting with a gun. Okay,
don't worry. I'm not hunting animal. I'm not hunting animal.
Yeah, oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
A little play on words there.
Okay. Does anybody ever say to you, what does poaching mean? Or do they say, I got scared when I saw poaching and I didn't want to work with you? What does it mean? So what's the reaction? I know what it means.
I initially thought that people might be a little bit apprehensive to reading that because it is a little bit of a turnoff to like, well, you're going to go steal a candidate from my competitor. But the fact of the matter is that hiring managers and directors and the level that they're at, the background they come from, their age, it's that hunting mentality and that poaching mentality is what was done for years and years and years before recruiting became automated, before everything. You go out there and you find the best talent for your client.
Yeah. You know what? How come I ask a clear question and I don't get an answer? He tells me a story, okay?
I'm trying to pitch.
Look, I want to know, Do people, are you saying that they expect us to be poachers and so they're comfortable with it? Is that what you said?
No, not at all. They don't expect us to be poachers. Not everybody can be a poacher. I present it as I don't ever post jobs. I don't ever entertain inbound candidates. When my client comes to me for one of their hard to fill needs, I typically back cleanup for the agencies that can't fill them, and they come to
Hold on,
me.
I've got two questions
So
right away. Anybody feel free to interrupt, but here's what comes to mind. Everybody says that you're saying that passive candidates are best, and there's tons of people whining all the time. That's so unfair. Passive candidates aren't best. That's an illusion. The other thing is going in and saying, I'm going to fill your hardest to fill job. That's lots of people don't want to waste their time doing that either. What about those two things? Are passive candidates best?
Yeah, most 99.9% candidates of the candidates I talk to don't even know they're looking for a new job until they talk to me.
Who said no? Michael G. Cox?
Yeah, it's a blanket statement. So most employers are more impressed by an individual that says, well, I actually wasn't looking.
What is he saying? I
Very
mean, like,
sad.
I vote.
It's very sad, but it's true.
Seriously, you didn't understand what I said?
I don't understand what you said. Passive candidates, are they
Okay.
best?
Most
Are they best?
employers are more impressed by a candidate that says,
They're passive.
actually, no, I wasn't looking.
Yeah. Okay, the recruiter, you're getting good value for your money. I wasn't looking. The recruiter dug me up. Okay, what's your website? Do you want to give everybody your website, AJ? Maybe I should look over here because I know you're going to turn up at the other end of the screen. What's your website, AJ? I'll look at the camera.
Futureforcestaffing.com.
Futureforcestaffing.com. The guy above you, raise your hand.
There's nobody above me.
Raise your hand, Ivan. Ivan, raise your hand. Okay, he doesn't have his ad today. His name is Ivan Gulenko. He's an IT recruiter in Switzerland. He's created his own ATS that he wants to sell to you. KLANG.SO. Below me here is Ernie. Raise your hand because you're going to be somewhere else.
I'm to the
Ernie
right.
is foodindustryrecruiter.com. We call him Uncle Ernie. I call him Uncle Ernie. Nobody else does. Over there, with his new camera and his new headset, is MarioTheRecruiter.com. You might want to raise your hand. Okay. And Michael G. Cox over there in Texas. Where are you located, AJ?
Recently moved myself and my practice and my wife down to Key West.
Okay, you're in Florida.
Oh, that sucks. Got to take the bad with the good.
Where were you before?
Right in Center City, Philadelphia.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, but you work nationwide, or what's the story there?
I do. I'm a boutique staffing agency, so my clients are nationwide. I only have a few. Well, I had a few in Philly, but most of my clients are West Coast or have locations throughout the nation, so it doesn't matter where I sit.
And you have a niche. Okay, lots of warm up here. I got to get in. Okay, what's your niche? You say you've got a niche skill set. What is it?
Well, my background is IT recruiting, but as they say, if you can recruit IT, you can recruit anything. So once, but not necessarily if you can recruit anything.
Recruit IT.
Necessarily recruit IT. So
are you an IT recruiter or a generalist?
More of a generalist for the hard to fill positions, marketing, finance, IT, sales.
So how do you have the ability when maybe a niche recruiter has come in and failed to fill that, or their own recruiters in their company, and you come in and take on a job in a field that you don't specialize in and you can fill the job? Does anybody else wonder about that? Why he's got this superpower?
Could be a recruiting.
I'm waiting for his
I'm
answer.
asking you, guest AJ, answer. Why can you fill a job when you have no specialty there?
I thought you were asking everybody else. So it really comes down to getting in touch with the candidate, and it comes down to the subject line on the LinkedIn messages and just making a personal connection. My previous career was in outside B2B sales, so I know a lot of different industries inside and out. I've learned how to do that, and recruiting is just buying and selling of human capital.
Okay, so there's lots of people say that if you want to be a successful recruiter, you have to have a niche. You're saying, no, you don't. Am I right about that?
For me, I don't. For what I'm doing, how I'm doing it specifically. Now, for the bigger agencies, yeah, you do need a niche, and that's where you should start in a niche. There's no way you can start recruiting and understand everything.
AJ,
Does
AJ,
anybody
when you say,
go ahead, Ernie?
when you say staffing, do you do the temp placement locally, or is it just recruiting?
I am only
Is it, yeah, are you doing direct placement or
direct
temp to
placement
perm kind of
only.
stuff?
I don't really deal with the churn and burn of the contracts. It's direct placement only.
Firm.
Candidates become clients.
Okay, so it's
candidates.
recruiting, not staffing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your answer,
That's the term. Yeah.
Ernie.
No, but
Okay.
there's one more thing. AJ, a quick question. Now, someone asked this question. Okay, could it be that because of your background in B2B sales, you can easily grasp the scenario and convince someone to give you the business?
Correct. That's what I pinpoint it to. I worked with Aramark Uniform Services, slang and dirty laundry for 7 years of my career. I've gotten to know just about every industry out there, a little bit. So I have enough to know that if
Hold on, you know a little bit of every industry. You call up, we haven't figured out how you do business development yet, but
I
you
wanna know
call up a hiring manager and say, give me your hardest to fill job. It's in an area you've never recruited in before. And so then you start asking her, you say, can you tell me about this job? I don't really understand it. You know, what are the key things? And they have confidence in you because I have been turned away for that. Okay.
I mean, it's zero risk for them. I mean, what's the big deal about signing up an agency that says, hey, we can help fill your hard to fill positions that they've had no luck on? It's no skin off their back. So bring me on board and let me.
My experience is they'll say, no, why should I deal with you when I've also dealt with a company that's placed 50 of those
Wait.
guys last year.
Animal, can I ask you a question if you don't
Yeah.
mind? I'm sorry, Rich, just give me a second. Why can't you research a role? Is it so difficult to use the internet? To research a role. I'm serious.
The Googs, use the
How
Google.
can you do an intake
Yeah,
session?
the
How can
Googs.
you do an intake session
Do
with
it,
the
I mean,
hiring
you get the
manager
call,
if you don't know
Dude,
anything?
Half the
Yeah.
roles I handle, I have no clue what they are initially. I do some research. Just
Full
imagine a system
transparency.
engineer with godforsaken NGA experience. Who the hell knows what they do?
Hey, I'm not saying that AJ is like this, but bringing on some crap recruiter could damage your brand and say a lot of dumb things about you.
And it turns off all the other recruiters that trip over it. And no one, what good recruiter wants to work on a search with 5 other guys working on it, especially in this market.
I
Yeah.
like to recruit on positions that I don't have to race to fill, that the other ones have
That's a
dropped the
edge.
ball on.
Okay,
but I
so
mean-
hold on, Rich.
So
Rich
that's a good
Rosen.
reason why
Hey,
not
Rich,
to
by the
go
way.
with just any
Wait
recruiter.
on, Rich.
Yeah.
AJ wants to go into companies that other recruiters have failed them for, right? Is that what you're saying? And give me your hard to fill stuff. It means they must have tried already, right?
I bat cleanup.
Yeah, but that's also the standard line that every recruiter's taught at MRI for 30 years. Hey, give me the hardest stuff. It's the way you get into, it's an easy opener.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
how do you fill them? How do you
we-
fill those,
yeah.
Rich? The hardest stuff.
Because usually not that hard. Usually the other recruiters are lazy. Most recruiters don't work that hard
Recruiters
on
are
it.
generally entry level. I mean, the turnover in big box recruiting is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you've got entry level recruiters trying to fill jobs that they know nothing about. So
They don't ask the right questions. Most recruiters don't do a good discovery call.
and I'm wide open with my clients. I don't claim to know everything about everything. I let them know what I do and my specialty. I may not necessarily know their industry inside and out or the specific role, but I do know the generals about it. If it's for instance, if it's a software company and I have a sales position, I'll go through their demo so I can understand it, because I do like to act as an extension of my client's internal HR rather than just an agency recruiter.
AJ, are you contingent recruiter, retained? How do you do that?
So I only focus on small and medium businesses, and a lot of them are contingent. I have started getting into the retainer recently because I have had some clients, small businesses that only want to work with one agency, and they have a bulk amount of recs. And when I say bulk, I mean 7 or 8. So I don't typically do that. I normally have 1 or 2 of the hard to fill recs for my clients that may have 90 open positions. But with some of these companies, I will take on all their positions and have an exclusive with them. And I typically do a retainer for them. And it works out in everybody's best interest.
And how long have you been recruiting?
Since 2010.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to read you some stuff because you are coming up with, you're a contrarian on this, okay? The major drift is that you have to have a niche. Here's something I posted this week. The best recruiters do not offer an all-you-can-eat buffet. A French restaurant should not sell sushi, okay? It's impossible to have an in-depth understanding or connections in one field if you're moving from one to another all the time. You need a signature job.
Let me clarify. I'm not doing construction. I'm not doing jobs like that. It's mostly back office, white collar positions, IT, finance, marketing, sales. So I'm not venturing out there into every industry.
Those are very different. Is it anybody else in my frame of mind when I'm talking to this guy? Everybody says he's wrong. Okay, all the trainers say he's wrong. Does anybody?
He's doing a specialty where
Taking a
he can
trainer's
move
word for
like
it,
finance to
careful.
finance, and they can go across the board whether they're in manufacturing or not. A controller can.
As long as you
can do
give me
that.
the job description, it's about being a people person, and I can present enough to the candidate and get them over there.
Okay, but you know what? Mario says, Mario, hold on one sec.
Yeah, sure.
Mario says, oh, you can just research it. You research it after you get the job. You don't even know what it is. But you're in a position where you have to ask the hiring manager, what does this mean? What does that mean? Can you? I've done it. Okay, I know it works, but they don't want to hear that. That's my experience.
Animal
For my
rights.
business development, I'm normally targeting the jobs that are on the job boards that have been open for 3 months plus. So I already know the job that I'm targeting. I already know the person.
Let's
that
come to your
posted it.
business development in a second. Mario's got something to say.
I totally lost my train of thought.
You're like me.
He
You're
has
like
nothing
me.
to say. He has nothing to say.
No.
ADP
I actually
recruiting.
have something to say. Listen,
Plenty
one
to
question. No, one statement. A lot of trainers talk a lot of bullshit. Okay, and there's always an exception to the rule. Okay, you cannot make
So
it
he's the exception to the
100%.
bullshit.
He could be an exception to the rule. You never know. I mean, we can't ask him how much he's billing. He may be billing a decent amount. Heck, he's still in the business.
Yeah, but the thing
It's
is,
been almost 4 years now
he's
I've been in the business.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
what the hell? I mean, most of the trainers, I listen to a lot of trainers, okay, and except for very few, I will straight up state Trisha is a top-notch trainer, DSP as usual. Okay, even Mike is pretty good. Okay, but I don't comment about the other guys. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry's become a trainer nowadays. Heck, if Rich becomes a trainer, I will sign up with him anytime.
Hold on.
No doubt about it.
Those
He
who
is a
can't do,
trainer.
train.
What?
Those who can't do, train.
No, Rich
Exactly.
was interviewed.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Rich was interviewed by Donnie Gupton.
Yeah,
I
he was
haven't
interviewed
listened to
already.
it yet, but Donnie Gupton also posted, "You recruiters stay away from this." And the first thing he said was, "No cold calling."
Dude, most guys are snake oilsmen. I'm telling you very openly. Okay.
I don't know Donnie, so I can't say, but I was shocked.
I mean,
how
I listen
to
how
all
did
the
shit.
Rich get along with
Totally off topic though. Well, on that topic, I'm curious. Those who don't cold call, what the hell do you do all damn day? I don't
I am
understand.
trying
playing
to
video
learn
games
to
earlier.
cold call, to be very frank. I mean, cold calling candidates is
if
easy.
you were to describe HA's niche, it is the 90-day jobs. Period.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's what he goes after. 90-day jobs, which
Okay.
is different than the
What's
most
that?
of us.
What's a 90-day jobs?
90-day plus open on any of the job boards.
Which
He's
is
looking
pretty
at
much
the
like every
job. He's
I've
looking
ever
at the
heard
job
of.
boards, finding jobs that are 90 days, and calls them up and says, "You ain't found anything yet. I see this posting. Now do you want a pro to step in and do it for you?"
And it's
Mhm.
normally a
Do you
very
think-
warm call.
That's a
It's
nice
normally
line.
warming their side.
Hey, a question for the group. Do you think that most trainers are saying you need to have a niche? For example, sales recruiting, but only in SaaS, or sales recruiting, but only in the IT research and consulting Gartner world? Do you think they say that because their thought is that eventually you would sell your agency, or because I'm not focused on a very particular industry? So, am I doing it wrong because it's
trainers
just
say
like
it.
a lifestyle business for myself right now?
Selling your recruitment business is actually an interesting topic, but it has more to do like from detaching it from your person. This is what I
Yeah.
generally hear, not the niche stuff.
Yeah, but the niche stuff, the trainers generally sell the content right. They don't send cold calling because they don't know how to do it. Most of them. But you can teach
Exactly.
someone how to
Spoken
write,
from the master.
and there's no money about. There's no, it's an easier way to suck people in. And
Rich, is there any way you're ever going to start training in cold calling? Please tell me. I'm going to
Yeah,
sign up.
I'm
for
telling
you.
Rich I'm coming to the US for vacation and I want to sit
But
Mike
Rich has
next to
given
him.
us Rich has given
Seriously.
us his cold call
Like
here
Rich
many
Rosen, I
times.
am asking
Yeah.
you publicly, can I spend a day with you when I'm in the US? Can I
See,
come in?
that is
No,
a
you can
true
the hell, you can spend a
intelligent
month with
trainer.
him. Come on over to his house. Stay there for a month.
He'll kick
Yeah,
us out in a day.
Everyone-
the cold, listen, cold calling is all about confidence. It doesn't matter what you say, even you just know how to get past the first no and you're in the door. And my cold calling is not the best, quite frankly. I just make a lot of them, and you just keep you build a rapport with people. They say no, we say, hey, listen, it's not the right time, but who do you know? And this is to give them the pitch anyway, and then suddenly they're interested. It's not. There's a lot better cold callers than I, but you just have to know how to say things with the right tone of voice, and that's 90% of it.
Rich, while you're talking, I have a question for you with regards to what Michael G. Cox just said. And Rich, everybody, is softwaresalesrecruiting.com. He's got his own niche. Okay, we say
And even
niche.
SaaS,
in
actually,
Canada.
right? It's,
Hold
it's
on.
actually
Okay, so-
software SaaS sales. This is what Rich is doing. So he's
Yeah,
very
well,
good.
Well, I don't know that much. Okay, softwaresalesrecruiting.com. He's got a niche. They're both. He's in sales, just like Michael G. Cox. But Michael G. Cox just confessed, "I'm a sales generalist." Is that a mistake in your view, Rich? And he can handle it. Dish it
I
out.
can totally handle it.
I don't know if he can handle it. I don't know.
Mike can't handle it.
Handle it?
No, Mike and I are the same. Mike's all in software sales, right, Mike?
No. Yeah, just
No.
software.
Oh,
No,
you
I'm
do
not.
also.
No, so
Oh no, no, that's dumb.
Now, why is it dumb? I'll tell you one reason. AJ,
I'm not
AJ,
disagreeing with him.
AJ, if we
Yeah.
don't talk to you this time, you'll come back again.
I'll come back as many times you guys will have me. This is fun.
Okay, but here's the thing. Anybody can call in any time. It's only the same crew. Who's a great crew. Okay, I love these guys.
I
But-
might have to become a staple.
Yes.
But here's
Yeah,
the thing:
please do.
if you're working a niche, you call somebody for one job, you can't use her, but you know her, and you might be able to use her for another job. If you're switching your jobs all the time, you just go through you're starting
Yeah.
from scratch.
Everything's
Every
new.
search,
Yeah,
right?
everything's new,
Yeah.
but I also don't have to keep a database of people that I'm calling from 2016. Be like, hey, your number's in our database, and they're 5 more years advanced or whatever.
Yeah,
the
but
case
like-
may be.
But he's still alive.
Yeah, but the problem with that is if you're focused on everything, and like I know a handful of generalists that are fantastic recruiters, but their goal is not the same as mine. Their goal is more of a lifestyle business kind of thing. So if you
No,
wanna
I
do
don't
that-
know. What does that mean? A lifestyle business kind of thing. What does that mean?
They are
Make
making
money to live.
significantly less money than Rich. This is what you do.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, the problem, once again, if you don't mind me entering, Rich, this business is meant to make money. Okay, it's not meant to make a lifestyle. Oh, I'm chill, I can relax. I mean, no offense, Ernie. I'm a money guy. I live for the dollars.
Yeah. No, but you're right though. Some people do it. They make X amount of dollars so they can go, take every week as a 3-day weekend, 4-day
Can I
weekend.
be frank with you? I am making money to invest in other businesses, which I have. I mean, that makes more sense.
Good for you. You should.
I'm building my
You get your
company
money
to
to
sell it
work
or
for it.
franchise.
I'm working my ass off to try and get out of recruiting.
I didn't think till the day I die, I'm
Well,
going to be
if you're not
recruiting.
niche, Mike, if you were niche, you'd be able to get out already.
Yeah, hold
Yeah,
on. a
there
second.
you go.
Michael G. Cox, Michael G. Cox contradicts me all the time. I have a lot of respect for him, though. He speaks well. He's knowledgeable. He's very confident.
I talk good.
Rich, if you were the trainer, what would you say to him?
I would say you should be focused. The reason I can cover tons of jobs at once is because 90% of my jobs are focused around, as AJ said, a certain area. There's certain, like I got a call
Interchangeable.
Everyone, you can send one person into half a dozen accounts, and that way you get 6 sendouts in a day if you needed to, or whatever. When you get the outliers, they kill you because they completely suck your time up. And I think the problem with being a generalist or not being focused on a niche is you become very reliant on the client. The way I do it is I'm not relying on anyone. None of my clients are more than 25% of my business.
You're relying on
walk
an
away
industry.
from any of them. Yeah. I'm relying on it. The entire software industry goes down, I'm screwed. But we'll figure that
I
out.
started as a Salesforce recruitment agency. I was niche, and I left. My previous job before I started my own agency was with a Salesforce implementation partner. Built that. I was a startup. Built that company. I was hire number 5. Built it up to about 60. Then left and realized that I had my aha moment because there's a niche where the small and medium businesses are not getting the same attention that the big Fortune 100s and Fortune 500s are, because simply there's not enough volume there. So they're not getting the attention, they're not getting that white glove service that they deserve, and they need that cultural fit. So if people weren't paying attention to that, that's where I come in.
Okay,
That's why
hold on. Let me. There's
Yeah,
the
but
question.
a lot of
how-
those companies can't afford either.
Okay, that was another.
But
question.
there's plenty that can, especially in this market with the VCs. They're just dishing out cash like M&Ms.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, but hold on a sec. With see, I'm like Mario. If I don't blurt it out, I don't remember
You're gonna
it.
lose it.
Okay,
I'm the same way. That's all good recruiters have ADD. It's all right.
Oh, thank you.
I thought it was age. Okay,
It is.
okay. But what? Geez, what were you talking about? I can't remember. It was important too. Okay, it was, okay. Hold on. Let me ask Ivan. Ivan's so quiet. I have to always check and see if he's just being polite or if he wants to say something. Do you want to
No,
say
it's like-
something?
Yeah, this is like the genius bit, like, right? You have to have the candidate, like, you have to send this candidate to 6 companies, like then you will be successful. But if you have the outliers, it's like not possible to make a lot of placements.
I have
suppose.
a 1 to 4 interview to hire.
It is
ratio.
possible. It just takes me a little
Wonderful.
longer.
Damn.
Yeah,
My
but I mean,
clients, they pay a premium for my services, but their return
What do you
is
charge?
AJ, I'm going to ask you a very unfair question.
Wait, hang on, AJ. What do you charge?
And when I say premium, I
Yes,
start at
exactly.
30%, and I'll go down to 25.
What's
You
that?
get guys,
How much?
you're getting guys for 30%?
30, 25. I normally pitch 30. Smaller businesses, they're a little bit reluctant to that, so I'll come down to 25. But the way that I pitch it is their return is in time. I have a career average of 1 to 4 or 4 to 1 interview to hire ratio. So when I send that to them and I'm sending them 3 or 4 candidates and they're almost guaranteed to hire one, then it makes it all worth it for them.
So, I mean, how many deals are you doing in a year?
I billed about 700 last year.
That's great. So
There
why,
you go.
I mean, why not?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you focus, you could even double that, quite frankly. So you wouldn't be
But
running.
that's
all over.
hypothetical. That's
If you do- if you
hypothetical.
do-
I'm not
If you do
comfortable
phone calls,
focused.
if you do
I'm
phone calls.
comfortable. I'm comfortable like this.
This guy seems like as
Ju-
happy as can
But
be.
just so you're
okay?
aware that
Ivan's
in
going-
recruiter,
He's down
in recruiter
in Key West
terminology,
in land of
700 and
fantasy
300.
fest. He's
See,
getting started.
once
He's
again,
getting ready.
when-
The end of this
He's
month,
getting ready for
will I
fantasy
see you there
fest
in
next
Future
month.
Rich?
When it's
Definitely.
not broken, don't
We're
fix
ready to
it.
roll.
I mean, seriously, when it's not broken, don't fix it. Why do you want to mess it up? It's working good for him.
It's working great for him.
Yeah, Rich, why do you
Great
want
is an
to-
understatement, but yeah.
The reason why it's working is what everybody on this Zoom is saying. You have to have a niche, and I don't have one. So my niche is not falling in line with everybody else. I set myself
It's like
apart.
Seinfeld.
I don't know
It's
if the
about
logic
nothing.
there is very good, but I
But
remember
Ernie
what I wanted-
specifically, AJ,
I
Ernie
re-
was specific. You're a 90-day recruit, a 90-day niche, to be
Yeah,
precise.
yeah.
Yours is the
Kind
90-day niche.
Kind of, although Rich
Hard to fill,
says
but-
everybody says that. And that was an interesting explanation. He claims that these jobs that are hard to fill aren't really hard to fill. There's just lousy recruiters are taking the first shot at them. I don't
No,
know
I'm
if that's
better than
true.
most. They are hard to fill. I'm better than most.
Well, what makes you, okay, I'll forget what I'm talking about again. Let me ask you this question. What makes you better than most?
From what I understand about myself, and this is one problem I've had with always wondering how I'm going to train somebody else, is it's really just the approach. For me, what I've had the best luck with and got really good percentage return rates on through LinkedIn emails is it comes down to the subject line. You want something that grabs them in, but at the same time isn't putting you in with everybody else. I get messages all the time thanking me for my personalized message to them, which was a copy and paste, but I write out a bulk message that seems personalized, and they thank me for giving me a personal message, tell me they're not interested, but at least I get that credit back. And I have a really good return rate or reply
Give us
rate.
some examples. Come on.
And how many people are contacting a day on LinkedIn?
Hang
That's
on,
the
let
next
him,
question.
let him give the subject line. Let's hear the,
Yeah,
say the good
some
stuff.
Oh
examples.
no, I can't give away that.
Okay, I'll
I've
tell you.
been using the same subject line for every job for about 5 years.
Mhm.
Okay, but you know what? I've been interviewing people here for a long time and asking them, "What's your subject line?" And they're all over the place, and they all say it works for them. So my guess is that the subject line really doesn't matter that much. Ernie, you haven't said much.
No, I was gonna say, if the subject line didn't work, you wouldn't be working in this business. So
Yeah.
They said they did that study that the best subject line that got the biggest return was a blank subject line. HubSpot
don't
Yes.
believe it.
I don't believe it.
You know, or
Yeah,
someone you
you
put in
gotta
their
make a
name and you put
connection
their
with the
name in the
people.
subject line. And that
It
that's
depends on
smart.
what you're after. If you're trying to just get them to open it,
Yeah.
a blank subject line works very nicely.
I make the connection, and then once I'm able to make the connection, you have that conversation, and that's where you sell yourself.
Okay, you were bragging
But you're not
a
going to
minute
tell us
ago.
what it is.
You were That's okay. He wants to keep it secret. I don't mind. You were bragging.
No, that's not
sometimes-
okay.
Well, that's sometimes I would. I said, what are you
I
coming
think
on
you
the
should
show
tell.
for
I
if
think
you're not going
now
to
that
tell
you
us
brought
what
it
you
out,
do?
you got to tell now. Come on.
I'm calling
can't
Make
bullshit.
it up.
It's a
Give us a
trade
fake
secret.
one. Give us a fake one so we'll use it and we won't be successful. Okay.
Hey there.
I
Hey
don't have a
there.
fake one. I've been using the same one for 5 fucking years. Sorry,
Wait.
for 5 years.
Okay.
It's
Ah,
Well,
cool.
hold on.
okay,
We use
that-
filter all the time.
I get criticized by
do you
religious
curse in your-
people when I swear on the show,
My
or when I
apologies.
let
Do
people
you
like
swear in your subject line?
No. But once you open a message, I do
Only
stuff like
DSP
this.
says
WTF?
on
That's
the
his
subject
subject
line.
line. We know it now. WTF? Okay.
When,
Here.
when I
Let
when
me
I
ask
send
you a
a
question.
message,
No. Look at me, okay?
you're the captain now.
You were bragging a minute ago. Oh, I'm really good at matching cultures. You can tell us that. How do you figure out what the company culture is, and how do you figure out what the person who's going to fit into it? No one has ever told us, and I've been doing this for years. Okay, what do you do?
I do a cultural workup of my clients on the phone.
What does that
I
mean?
actually interview my clients before I start interviewing for them.
Oh, that's new. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Go ahead. What does it mean?
I ask them very direct questions about their internal culture, what it's like.
What questions? Okay. What do I have to beg?
Yes.
It's true. I do.
Benefits that they offer internally, if it's more or less like if they're offering free lunch, or what their how they bring candidates in, or what their shtick is. Shit.
Okay, he's the same as everybody. I'm great at matching culture, but somehow I can't define what I do. Okay, I'm going to do an ad for everybody, but first for the show. This show, all of 2020, 21, just 2021. It's now on YouTube at recruitinganimalshow.com. I got tons of complaints from Ivan here. He said, I like to listen to the show, but double the speed. Okay, now you can go double the speed, okay? Don't complain anymore.
I'm watching last week's show and enjoying it quite a lot. To AJ's point, actually what the intake call really like it sometimes seems like a waste of time. Like you ask about free lunch and blah blah blah, and like you never tell this to the candidate. It's like, oh, I wasted all the time. But it's actually not true, because sometimes you do remember a specific aspect, and then you can turn a candidate from not interested to interested by telling them that, hey, like the company uses like testing, they're really strong in like software testing, and you'll enjoy working there, stuff like that. So this intake calls, they actually are super important, because sometimes they can turn around passive candidate to an active one.
But in the intake call, if you're an ignorant recruiter, and you don't know the lingo and stuff, some people reject you on that basis. But now that I've got you on the spot, Ivan, you wanted Rich to chew you out, okay, and give you some consulting on the way
You
you
wanted to go live with Rich.
You
No, I
mishandled.
don't want consulting.
Ivan,
from
I'm
him.
joining
I
you.
just
Rich,
want
if you
to,
don't
like,
mind, I'd
know,
like to
be
join
his-
you.
I
With that
want you to
background,
be
Rich,
his
it looks like you're
neighbor,
living by
you
me.
know?
Okay. Ivan mishandled a client, okay, and he asked Rich on Facebook, what should I have done? There was a few agencies working on the job. He sent in a few candidates, one of whom he claims was awesome. That's his own word, okay? They rejected all of them, but of all the other recruiters they were using, they liked him because he sent the best ones, okay? But they didn't do the business. He says, what am I going to do with these guys? I've made placements there before. I don't want to just fire them, which is Rich's normal advice. Rich, it's in your lap. What should he do?
If you get is it this one particular hiring manager, or is it multiple hiring managers at the company that are going through this headache?
Yeah, no, it's more this role. So the technical roles are easy, like more or less, and this one, like super lead, like, you know, managing
It was a
technical role.
chief technical officer as
Pretty
opposed
much.
to junior programmers and stuff.
And with,
So
with this role, they are like this like impossible situation from the get-go. I had like a very bad feeling. They'll like this person they look for doesn't exist in the whole country, And I found this one guy who really like fits exactly that. I'm like, I told them in the beginning, it's like one guy in the whole country is like this, and then it still didn't fit. Like, okay, thank you. And
Yeah, I mean-
now I'm like, either, so they are like, I will tell them, okay, either we now do exclusive or we don't work together anymore, because I can't like afford to.
Even if you have an exclusive, if the role is impossible to fill, what are you going to do? You know, you got to walk away.
AJ, what would you do, AJ?
You know,
I'd send it to myself. No,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know your approach. I don't know if you're targeting how you're recruiting or how it works.
It doesn't matter if there's no candidate pool to pull from.
Right.
You know, no one's finding them. I mean, there's really no pool.
Have you had
I hope that they will
client?
actually like other before will like let's say become active that were passive before. This is my big hope. Sorry,
Have
AJ,
you
you were
become a
saying something.
consultant for the client to let them know that you already found them 100%? It's not looking for. Let's revise the job description. Explain to you more. Kind of let them know the troubles that you're having.
Okay, you guys, here's
I
the
plan
answer.
to do
It's
that,
here's the answer. It's staring you in the face. They're stupid. He's had success with the junior roles. Keep doing those and forget about those other ones.
That's the thing. You're in
money.
this business to make money.
Ivan, why do you care? Seriously.
Well, you can
on which
care. It's all
side?
right. Listen, you can care because you want to do long-term business with them, but at the same time, you can't just work for free. I mean, every recruiter's made this mistake where you got hooked into a client and that company was just impossible to get people over the finish line with. And eventually you got to tell the client, say, listen, neither of us are making money on this project here. This role's empty. I'm not winning. You're not winning. Something's got to give. Either we've got to loosen these requirements because what you want doesn't exist, or let's part ways.
But they're sucking him in by patting him on the head. Oh, we like you, right? Mario, go
Rich,
ahead.
a question.
But you're right. Animal's right. How often do we hear that?
Rich, a question. You cannot edit technical roles that much, right? I mean, when you need
Yeah, I mean,
hardcore
you know it or
technical
not.
skills.
I have a Kubernetes one right now. It's a bite in the nuts for a pre-sales role. I mean, they've been looking for. I think we had 2 offers and we placed with 3 offers, 2 accepted it. We got 1 more that's been open. It's been open since like March.
It's a bite in the nuts. What does that mean?
It's like
It's
a
just a
piranha
pain
in
in
the
the
balls.
ass.
I'm not sure
it's
what
a
it means,
piranha on
but
your
that's got to
balls.
be a bad thing.
I thought it was a Canadian Friday night activity.
I
don't know.
never heard. It means it's a hard job. It's a hard job. I'm gonna guess.
That's what it means.
Your job is either to make money or get a salary from them. If you're not
Ernie?
getting a salary from them, you got to
Ernie,
get other
What
jobs.
should he do? Ernie, what should he do? Are you with Rich and me?
Fire him. Go on to, he's got more jobs. Give you another job. Forget about that job. You're not going to get it. If organization look at a different hiring manager, look at a different
Well,
position.
he might, but the probability is against it. Okay, you might get him to place
Still
the next
source
one.
for it, but also take on other roles. Like, don't completely take it off your
Lose
desk.
the client.
Kind of put it.
Don't drop the
on
client.
the back
You're
burner.
getting money from them.
In
What do
other
you
words,
care?
if there's
He's not
have no
getting money.
drama with it, have no
It's
emotional
over.
attachment.
No,
to it.
Michael, he has made placements with them before. Why do you want to leave? Run
You
a
don't have to
business?
fire me. Just say, listen, this search is just, their requirements are just not, it's like when people want like 5 years of a programming language and it's only been around for 2 years.
Oh yeah. What an
How could they
example.
be so stupid?
But sometimes
People
you
are-
gotta
They do it all
you
the
gotta
time.
fire the job. You gotta
People
fire
are
the job, not
stupid as
necessarily the
hell.
company.
Dude, my favorite one today, this is the best. I had a lady that's been in her company for 12 years, went through an acquisition, grew up through the company, got promoted multiple times in the company. Now she's looking for a new job. The client's like, no, she's too single-threaded. She's like, she's too stable. And the fact that she's been promoted multiple times, you're like, no. For a company that's
Fire like
looking for
this
stability.
client needs to be
Stable?
fired. No?
I moved on to a different manager. It's a big
Michael G.
company.
Cox, do you have any advice for Ivan?
No.
Okay.
Ivan needs to quit recruiting.
No, he's a great recruiter, and he's got Clang. I'm doing the going
Yeah.
around again. Recruitinganimalshow.com if you want to see us every week. There's about 30 shows there already. Clang, KLANG.SO. He doesn't have his ad up today, but that's his own ATS. Be happy to show it to you. AJ, how do you say your last name again? Vollmoeller?
Vollmoeller.
Vollmoeller. Okay, but give us, what is it? Futureforce.com? What is it?
Futureforcetalent.com.
Why? Future Force was taken already. Is that what
Force was taken already. And then also the book is howtonotgethired.com.
Oh, you got a book?
I do have a book.
Oh, Ivan has a book for IT programmers, how to get a job. What's it called?
Called Coder Fit.
Coder
How
Fit.
how to progress in your coding career. Just Google that and you'll find it.
I haven't heard that Ernie's written a book yet, but his URL is foodindustryrecruiter.com if you want to see his LinkedIn profile. Michael G. Cox is thesalesrecruiter.com. And
Zero books.
AJ, I mean, not AJ. Now, I said it was an Indian name, so now I'm going to keep calling him both of you AJ. Okay. Mario is mariotherecruiter.com. And you've got like 3 specialties, legal, IT, and something else. Am I right?
And into this thing, clearance-based roles.
And he's writing a book.
What do you
No,
have?
I'm not
Legal,
writing.
aerospace, and what else?
IT, general
Alright.
IT. General IT.
IT, legal, and aerospace.
And not aerospace, defense mainly. See, I'm actually looking to move into the legal niche while my team works the IT and the other roles. I love dealing with lawyers and those kind of guys,
You like dealing with lawyers?
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, why not? The money is good, damn good money.
Oh God, they're so slow.
The
How much
battle
is the
wins,
how much
William.
is the fees? Like 30% also, like we heard
Dude,
from
it's
AJ, or what?
25%. I'm sorry, the law. You're talking to me, Ivan?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like 25% on a 300K salary, and getting business from them is a different ball game.
Okay.
I mean, I
Same,
like
same.
that. I like that standard. I mean, not to. I mean, like the standard of working with them.
Even
Kinda
Rich
cool.
is now jealous from these numbers. Like,
No,
Dude, if Rich
God,
becomes a law recruiter,
legal-
that's the end of it for us.
Legal
Rich
is a
is-
pain. Legal's a pain in the ass, but there's a lot of good recruiters in legal, like Harlan. What the hell's Harlan's last name? He's out in California, and Scott Love and stuff. It's those
Frederick
are-
Sheldon is another guy. I mean, he
Scott
was a
Love,
guy who got
I
us
remember
started.
when he
No.
What?
What?
Who? What? Did you hurt yourself?
I think he pulled
What
something.
did you say, Mario?
Frederick Shelton.
Never mind, dude. I'm gonna talk to you
Oh
after
man,
this.
he was. We got kicked. He got kicked off of my group. People hated his guts.
See, he's got guts, man. But come on, he was telling and giving information openly. You got to give credit to that guy.
Okay,
Okay.
I take it back. Hey,
Like it or
don't
not.
sue me. Okay, I didn't
sue
give
you.
Rich his new URL, whichever one Ivan tells me is no
Bro.
good. Okay, softwaresalesrecruiting.com. Okay, there you
that's
go.
good. That's good.
Okay, so you couldn't tell us how your subject line. You couldn't tell us how you figure out the culture. Let's go back to business development. You know what? This is a great conversation. I haven't had to go to my notes like once.
You haven't got any answers either yet.
No, I think we covered. I think we covered some good territory. From,
We know he's in recruiting.
Yeah.
supposedly.
Totally.
Okay, business development. You told us, you gave us a hint. So what job boards do you go to see which jobs are there for 90 days already?
LinkedIn Recruiter is pretty much my daily life. That's where I spend most of my life. I'll look on the job boards and just kind of scroll through. Sometimes I'll type in a specific category, specific type of job. If I'm already recruiting on one of those and I have familiarity with it, maybe I'll try to find other ones. So I really just hunt and search, and a lot of it has come from referral. What I realized in the beginning when I first started is I reached out to my network for my first clients, and from there, candidates become clients, clients become candidates. Everybody shifts, they move to new jobs, and throughout the 4 years now that I've been doing business, most of my new clients have been referrals.
Okay, so you see a job, you like it. How do you contact the company? How do you do a LinkedIn search to see who the hiring manager might be? What's your next step?
Yep, I make sure that it's the company that posted the job, not the agency. I've made the mistake of reaching out to agencies before. And then I just reach out, normally LinkedIn, or if there's a phone number to HR, or I can get into the company, I'll speak to that person that posted the job, or I'll
Cold
call.
call? You just
I'm
cold
sorry?
call?
Yeah.
You cold call?
Phone call. I mean,
What do you
that's
say?
my background.
What do you say? You got to
I-
tell us that.
Hello, let's do this. I'm receptionist. Hello, welcome to XYZ Inc.
Oh, hi, I'm looking to get in touch with Jan Smith in HR, please.
Who are you?
I have a scheduled appointment with her.
Okay.
Lie
let's
like a dog.
check.
So, what's your name? That's what you say next, Ivan. What's your name and what's your business with her?
I mean, Ivan, to be honest with you, I don't really deal a lot with gatekeepers. When I call in, it's easily passed along, or I'm able to get in contact with the job poster immediately. It's not.
Okay, they'll pass you to HR, but if you're asking for a hiring manager, she's going to ask, if you don't have a direct line, she's going to ask you who you are and why you're calling. No?
Correct. And I'll be honest. And sometimes they say they'll pass me along, and other times they say, okay, just let me get your contact information. But then I will follow up.
But you're happy to go to HR. You're happy to go to HR, right?
HR or hiring manager.
And the HR people will deal with you. They don't hate you reflexively because you're an agency recruiter?
No. I mean, I get pushback. Don't get me wrong. Everybody does. You know, every no is closer to a yes. But I mean, it's a lot open arms.
What kind of pushback? What kind of pushback?
Small companies.
What?
I'm calling small and medium-sized businesses, 0 to 500 employees. So it's a little bit more personal in there. They're not.
Do they have HR?
Yeah, any company with over 50 employees or over 100 employees has to have one HR.
Then why aren't you calling the hiring manager? That's my question. Why aren't you figuring out who the hiring manager is and going after her directly?
I'm not saying that I'm not. It's whoever.
Yes, you didn't say you did. Okay, I said, who do you call? Well, I call HR.
Whoever's
the
posting the
job.
Or if it's in a specific division, if it's in finance within that company, I will look to see who the finance manager is. If the job poster isn't there, I do my research and I'll reach out. I'll send messages on LinkedIn. If I can call, I will. If I have an email, I'll send it.
You know, this guy, he's bubbly and kind of fun. You like him, but he's slippery as hell. Okay, just let me point that out.
He's like a recruiter or something.
Yeah, it's hard to get the details. So once you get this Jan on the line, what do you say, word for word?
I just introduce myself with.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name's AJ. I'm from Futureforce Recruiting. I saw that you had an open position, whatever the name of the position is. I'll plug it in there. And it's been open for about 3 months. And I wanted to see if you have any traction with it or if you guys are open to having additional assistance trying to fill it. Just something simple, just really straightforward. I'm not trying to schmooze them. I'm coming in to help them. I'm coming in for one of their thorn in their side positions. And that's how I go in with that confidence that I can fill it. And if it's already problematic for them, more than likely their director or their manager or their president is on their butt about it anyway, because it's not getting filled. It's been open for so long. So if they hear that I want to help, they're wide open for getting help. So they stop.
You're one of these Sean Connery guys. You say the letter S as if it's an SH. Straight. I'm going to be straight with you. Okay.
I'm from New York.
AJ, of 10 calls that you make doing that, how many say, yeah, I need help?
2, 3.
That's great.
Again, I'm not out there doing business development that way all day, every day. A lot of it is referral based and just networking.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said you also contact people through LinkedIn. Well, how do you manage those? Again, subject line, magic subject line. Is that the key for business development as well?
For business development, again, just honesty. I'll put right in the subject line in regards to your 90-day open post or whatever it is. And if it's a thorn in their side, they're going to respond to it.
And so what goes in the body? I'm what you've been waiting for?
How about you suck at recruiting? Sorry, how about you suck at recruiting? Let me recruit for you.
Yeah. What goes in the body? Can you tell us?
A lot of times my marketing slick, I'll attach that, but I just let them know that I'm very personalized. I back cleanup and it really go through everything that I just went with you guys about my pitch of how I can help from when the other agencies have failed.
And do they ever press back? Okay, go ahead.
You basically call them at the right time. I mean, that's just, that's all he's doing. I mean, what he's doing is not bad. It's just
okay. But if they say no, do you call back and check back a month later?
No, there's 100 left. A lot of my clients, I just want to get in front of them because most of the clients, when they're introduced to me, they don't have the immediate need. They may put me on their desk, especially if it's a referral. And 3 months down the road, now they have that problematic position and I jump in their head. Hey, I remember AJ takes care of this. Let's call him. And they're looking through the Rolodex or whatever it may be nowadays.
Okay. AJ, when you have AJ, when you have the job order.
Yep.
You got the candidates. You identify them through LinkedIn, what you use. How do you get the contact information? Is it just the messaging within LinkedIn or do you go to other devices to get a phone number?
Information for who? The candidate?
Yeah, the candidate.
So my initial message I send out to them. Once they reply back, I thank them for their interest, and then I set up a time, I ask them to suggest a couple times that work for them.
But if there's a hot candidate and they don't reply back, do you reach out to them? Do you
Yeah,
call them?
there's going to be other hot candidates. I mean, yeah, I will, but I'm not following up for months or weeks on end.
How many times will you follow up? 4 times?
Depends on the candidate, depends on the position, depends on how many other candidates like that person are out there.
I like Rich. He says, as much as I have to. Okay, that's a nice, clean answer.
Mhm.
The
Well,
girl
like-
who was on
like-
last week, Ivan's friend Sarah, she said 4 times max. Otherwise, it's pestering people. Go ahead, Ernie.
No, I was gonna say, AJ, I mean, it sounds like you're totally within LinkedIn and only within LinkedIn that you're trying to communicate initially with these people.
Correct.
And if they don't respond within LinkedIn, that's it. You don't try to call them. You don't
No,
do
I
anything else.
have
Email them, text them.
Yeah, I'll email if I can get their email. I know there's a lot. If I can find an email address from within that organization, I know everybody's name is the same way. You know, if it's first initial dot last name, it's going to be like that for everybody. So I will reach out to them, but I have a really good return rate and response rate.
Okay.
I like that he's got the attitude, I don't need you. You're not going to answer me? I don't care. Okay, I got lots of more. Anybody else? Questions for him? Michael G. Cox, you've been very busy. Do you have something you'd like to share with
Close
us?
that deal. Closing that deal.
Well, hey, okay, so quick question, and I know Rich, you're gonna hate this one, which is why I want to bring it up. I have a couple clients that have so many
He
positions
wants to
that are
go live
open.
with you too.
Yeah, they want to get away from the direct placement model, if you will, and they would like for me to do some sourcing for them. Which, I mean, rather than spending 20% on each placement, and let's say there's 20 of these sales roles that they want to fill in the next 4 to 6 months, they'd rather bring me on and pay me X number of thousands of dollars per month to dedicate a certain number of hours to them per
Sure.
day. What do you guys think of doing something like that?
So it's so
For them, 250K a year. Simple
Yeah,
as
so
that. Sorry.
seriously, you're not that far off. I was talking about this with a client too, or they're going to actually talk about it on Monday, I should say. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but they have a ton of openings. Instead of paying 25% fees, you basically break down what your yearly salary or income is going to be. What's that work out to an hourly salary? And say, listen, I'll give you 20 hours at I'm going to do whatever, $1 million a year, so it's whatever it is, $830 an hour or something.
$50 an hour.
Yeah, so if you're going to work 20 hours a week, so it's 830.
Yeah, but no one will pay that because it's like the 1 million.
No, they absolutely will.
But then,
hang on. But you're not going to get paid 20% per fee per placement.
Exactly.
You're going to get like $50,000 a month, but they may get 5 placements out of you.
Yeah. So my thought to them was, look, I'll charge you. I have one. I'm working on multiple, but one client that I can tell you a little bit more about, Dallas Fort Worth region, 10 people there, and then others in other areas. And I said, look, do $100 per hour, but I'm only going to give you 2 hours a day. And so they liked that deal.
For $100 an hour, I'm sure they did. I got $75 an hour in 2000, literally 2000.
Michael, you're undercoding yourself.
Yeah.
I think you are. Yeah.
That's okay. I don't know it, and I've never done this whole.
Michael,
but
outsourcing
it's like fixed money, guys. It's like different. It's like fixed money. That's why it's 100.
Yeah, I mean, you're giving security for you're taking the revenue for security, so you're taking even the discount.
And Michael, really look at what they're going to expect you to do. Sourcing, finding candidates, and giving it to them is one thing. The second part is they want you to set up the interviews. Do they want you to follow up?
No, all I'm doing is, and by the way, it was $5,000 per month. So it's more than $100. 2 hours a day, so it's like 40 hours a month, and I'm just doing the sourcing, screening, and submittals. I don't care about placements or anything else. That's all.
Is there a minimum number of candidates they want to see out of that though?
No.
Incentives immediately. Long term.
Michael, you need to have an SLA, a service level agreement. Please don't make a mistake without having that.
Yeah, but
AJ gets the last word on that.
Hang on,
AJ.
but Mike, don't
AJ,
forget.
go ahead.
You're going to need to make sure how much time you got to put into sourcing for that too, for finding, building your list, and then being able to call to deliver. Because otherwise, you're just going to piss off a client that could have been a long-term provider for you.
No, I hear you. It's new to me.
Yeah.
New AJ. You
Yeah,
have something to say. Do you want to say something to him?
I think
saw
I
you.
forgot. I forgot. I
like me.
pulled an animal.
Come on, dude. AJ needs
I
to come
started
back
listening
every
to
week
Rich
so we
and
can
I
start getting
completely
nuggets.
forgot.
AJ can come back. Hey, I had a great time. If you know, I post this on LinkedIn and say go to, and they don't like it, too darn bad. You guys don't know what you're missing.
Who
Okay,
gives a shit?
everybody wave. Thanks, everybody. Bye, AJ.
Bye guys. I'll see you soon.
again.
Thank